I do want to thank you right off the top because just before we started recording, you said what I always love to hear, which is, God, I hate podcasting. So thank you. Hello and welcome to Is This Good? The show where we boldly, conclusively, and scientifically decide what things in this big wide world are good. I'm Matt Austin, and with me, as always, is production powerhouse Jason Doyle.
Hello.
Hi, JD. Thanks for coming. And today's guest is a writer whose debut novel, A Little Blood and Dancing, is out now from Strange Light Books. In his spare time, he's a staff writer and podcaster at The Ringer. He's also a goddamn liar who claims to have played 21 NBA games and punched David Stern in an elevator. Please welcome the man they call Stash Bandicoot. It's Tyler Parker. Tyler, welcome to Is This Good?
Oh, all-time intro. Thank you for all of that. I will, I'm going to try to just clip that out for myself, just so I can listen to it at night before bed. That's great.
Well, I mean, that's not the nicest thing that's been said about you. When I was doing a little bit of research before, you've been called one of the most exciting voices of our time.
Oh, I mean, that's very nice, but it's far more exciting to hear someone say the words Stash Bandicoot, for me personally. It gets my juices flowing a little bit more, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I do want to thank you right off the top because just before we started recording, you said what I always love to hear, which is, God, I hate podcasting. So thank you.
Well, no, I mean, it's one of the reasons that I wanted to, go work for The Ringer and Spotify, because they're not about audio, they're trying to just keep it. They're just trying to keep it about, what's on the screen, just visuals, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
that's what I'm about,
You keep calling Daniel Ek and saying, "Let's get back to music, man." Okay?
I start sending him articles from like 5 years ago that's like, looks like some people are pivoting to video. Maybe I just changed the date on them.
Can we trace the history a bit here? Because so obviously now, assuming the culmination is your book, A Little Blood and Dancing.
Sure.
Because you just mentioned also before we started that you were in Chicago, and I know that you were doing some time at some of the great improv factories of our time.
Sure. Yes. No. Yeah. That was after I graduated college. That was where I went. I had done some sketch shows in college and sort of like got bit by the bug and didn't have some great job I was turning down. There was didn't have a ton going on, and so yeah, I went up to Chicago and was just sort of determined to kind of try the improv stuff and yeah, I was there for like 5.5-ish years, something like that. Doing that.
Did you know how embarrassing that was going to feel before you did it, or did it take the 5.5 years to fully cement that?
It cemented the first time that I used an improv term sort of around a friend that was not familiar with it, and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. That in that world, you wouldn't go say, "Oh, I'm going to go perform," or "I performed with Trolley last night." You say, "Oh, I played with Trolley last night."
Oh yeah, play. We play. We love to play.
And that's what we're about. We're about play, and we love it. But like, and it doesn't register with you when you're just like surrounded by it, how much of a that sounds like, you know what I mean? And yeah, my buddy was like, "So sorry, hold on a sec. You're doing what now? You're gonna go? What do you mean? Like, was there a Jupiter jump there? Like, what did you?
Did you tag someone at recess? What are you doing over there?"
Far enough. I mean, the beauty of doing improv at that time is there are very little video evidence of the performances.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, like, it's not, the embarrassment is not just like at the ready on YouTube like it would be, I think, if I were doing it now. Mm-hmm. But no, I mean, one of the most devastating improv insults I ever heard was a buddy of mine who was hammered, and he started to make fun of improvisers, and he goes, All right, everyone, welcome. We are Short Sleeve Jeans. Can I have a suggestion? and I was like, one, I'm very jealous of that team name. I'm gonna that my next. If I ever have another improv team, I do want to call them Short Sleeve Jeans. But no, it was absolutely devastating.
we are mom's toe socks, and we're I don't. But hold on a second. Now it can't be that embarrassing because you are using your improv skills in this new Ringer series that you're doing, where you are sort of parodying player podcasts, NBA player podcasts.
I guess that is a good point. That is true. I mean it. Full circle. Nice to be able to get some bits off and pretend that all that money I paid for stage time, is actually went somewhere. This is certainly the first time I've ever been paid for improv. Absolutely.
Well, that's when you're good. You're killing it. When you're paying them to let you on the stage.
And that was what I kept trying to tell my parents, and they didn't understand, and they still don't. Like, what do you? So you have to. So you got on a team, but you still have to pay for the coaching too?
Oh, I mean, just the fact that getting on a team is so exciting to you in that world. And then you tell, it's like, so wait a second, there's people doing this that aren't on team? That seems like the baseline of things that you would be. Well, you go in at 101, okay?
Yeah,
now you're just doing your standard yes-anding.
And then you start trying to explain, like, the reputations of the particular theaters in town. He's like, you gotta understand, this place is really cool. Okay, this is like
Farley.
They're doing a lot of interesting alt stuff there. This is actually where Tina and Amy really cut their teeth. I mean, I know Second City, there's a big name, but this place that I'm doing things at is actually where it's really cool.
Well, UCB, right? You know UCB? Well, it's funny because that wouldn't actually exist without the Chicago style. So that's funny that you don't know that.
And it's okay, and I'm glad that you said it because it is something that not a lot of people know. And so now, whenever someone else brings it up, you can tell them that UCB actually originated in Chicago.
It is, and so I guess really no longer exists anymore, or not.
You start like describing shows that you just heard about that you weren't there for, And you're Adam McKay was throwing dummies off of the roof of the Cubby Bear, man. It was sick.
Back when you could joke, okay? Back when comedy was real.
No, and look, and one thing I am proud of is that, with the Parker Tiles show with Thad Roper, we are, we're taking cancel culture head on, we're really attacking because it's a dangerous time right now, I think.
Yeah. So Tyler, behind the scenes, do you and Chris Ryan fire off a quick zip zap zop before the mics go off?
We do zip zap zop. We bring in some of the producers to play some freeze tag, and then we'll actually take in that first one. We took a suggestion from Bill for a location that would fit on the stage, and then we.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah. And he didn't say pineapple like everyone else does. God,
no,
that's why he's the best.
No, it's something like Dunkin' Donuts, something Boston centric. I can't remember. I came in hard with the hard R's though. So it was all right.
Okay, wait. I one sort of nerdy question though. I saw in your bio that you did an MFA at Columbia. I guess that's where that's. I see. When you do that, do you know that you want to be a novelist?
At that point, I did. I mean, like I was older than a lot of those kids that were in that program were a year or two out of undergrad, and I was like 27 or so. And so at that point, I knew that I wanted to try to be, you know what I mean? I was, the reason I went to try to get an MFA was just because I realized I was doing a lot of basketball writing and I was doing a lot of the improv stuff, but I just sort of was also fiddling around with some fiction and realized I liked that a little bit more than some of the other stuff at the time, and felt like I could be good at it but wasn't yet, and just knew I needed a lot of practice and time and help. And so that was why I went, but definitely at that point, like, I had the idea for my book at that point, and the whole time I was in the program, whenever, I was in the workshops and stuff, and you have to turn in, new sets of pages every 3-4 weeks, I was always handed in stuff from the book because I I sort of knew that, oh, this is the time in my life that I will be able to, that I know I'll be able to dedicate to this. And I wasn't sure if I was going to get that kind of time again. You know what I mean? It was sort of like, oh, all of a sudden this is the thing I can focus on. And so I was just like, I got to take advantage of this being where I'm at for now.
Right.
Yeah.
So you could tell your dad, I'm paying them to let me on stage. And then once you got done doing that, you're like, now I'm paying them to let me write.
And if you thought the last tuition was astronomical,
Oh, yeah. Jesus.
I'm not even going to tell you what this is going to cost.
This is the Ivy Leagues, Dad. Now, certainly I.O. and Second City, one could say, are the Ivy Leagues of improv. I'm not going to say it, but you could say that if you want. But
You could say that. I'm sure the New York Times has said it. Look, these reputable. But no, it was. It was very much like, well, all right. Well, hopefully you land on this then. You know, like, all right, you're dabbling in these creative things. Like, okay, cool. If it's this, then it's this. Hopefully, it's this. If you're going to go do this for two, whatever. I'm sure in their heads they were like, oh, it'll help you get a gig somewhere, regardless. But
Probably not,
It was
though.
probably like definitely not. I'm sure they thought, oh, you'll have Columbia on your resume. It'll just be smooth sailing. Of course, that's not the case.
Because you're not even from an OKC or a Tulsa, I believe.
No, I'm from a very country area, a very, very, very rural area. I'm from like a tiny town that's called Fort Gibson. There's very small. Like, if you've ever listened to the Merle Haggard song "Okie from Muskogee,"
Sure.
Muskogee is about 5 minutes away from Fort Gibson across the Arkansas River. So that's where I'm from. But yeah, no, no, I'm trying to think, honestly. I really don't think I've seen a tumbleweed in Oklahoma.
Okay.
We have.
Well,
Well, look,
they rolled out the red carpet for us.
maybe I'm going to start calling y'all liars then. Maybe maybe y'all made that up. Maybe you made that up as a reason to not visit again.
JD, why don't you pause the podcast? We'll let Tyler Google both of us.
Yeah, I need to Google y'all's, but I need to get some ammo in here really quick.
You think I would ever put my improv experience in a bio? What are you, insane? I'm not opening myself up to ridicule like that.
Hey, you guys both laughing knowingly at Zip Zap Zop. You've given yourselves away, you know?
Okay, here we go. First question. Spencer K asks, spraying people with water cannons at theme parks. Is this good? So Spencer writes in, I'm from Orlando, Florida, and I go to the theme parks a ton. At every water ride, there's a point where there's a bridge, and you can pay money to spray water at the people on the ride below. Every time someone sprays me, I think they're an asshole to pay money to soak me. But I've done it once or twice and have to admit that it is a lot of fun. So is this good? Best Spencer. I mean, file this under almost every life experience, right? Where when someone else does it, it's annoying. But when I do it, it's, when I'm behind a car at a red light and they don't move because they're looking at their phone, I'm like, fuck you, man. But when I do it, I'm like, hey, we're not in a huge rush, man. Calm down. It happens to the best of us.
I don't hear any sirens. Chill out.
Exactly. Or, Tyler, I text you and you don't text me back right away. I'm like, Mr. Big Stuff is fucking big timing me.
Yes.
But if I don't text you back, I'm like, it's called being busy, Tyler. I don't know. I don't know what you expect from me.
Can you turn your phone off? The screen is very bright, and I'm trying to enjoy this movie. And then my daughter's school calls me, and I'm like looking at it and like, oh, sorry, I gotta, Look, this was important. This using of the phone was important. No, I'm with you completely. I think it's good. I think
Okay.
I agree with every sentiment expressed in that letter. That if it happened to me, I think I would be mad, but it sounds like the ride. It sounds like they're like on like one of those river rafting rides.
Yes,
where
so
you're
you're
already
gonna get wet.
And so I think that you're kind of entering into a contract with yourself whenever you get onto that ride, and you're deciding like, hey, my clothes are going to be wet for part of the day. I'm going to have some wet underwear. I might be itching a little bit later. I'm just going to have to deal with that. And if I get sprayed, I'm like, I think you got to know that that's part of it. And even if you don't know it's part of it, you knew that there was a chance you could get wet. So I don't know how mad you can actually be.
But the thing is that there are certainly some rides where I agree with you, like a classic flume.
Love a flume.
You kidding me? Just go straight down once and that's the ride? Amazing. It's more an American tradition. So on those rides, you will get wet. So that's fine. But there's somewhere you're kind of like in an inner tube and like there's seats that kind of look like gaming chairs in the inner tube. And you're just kind of ping-ponging around. You might get, spat on by the water, but you're not getting soaked. And I looked it up and I did find every video that someone has posted online of someone spraying someone at a water park is literally them turning around to the camera and being like, I'm going to ruin this guy's day. And then they select one innocent man, woman, or child on this inner tube and spray. And the guy is like looking around like, what? And then he's like, surely this water spray would be going somewhere else and then they clock and they realize it's a human on a bridge.
Yeah.
They're the chosen one, the unlucky one that has been there. And because I have to imagine when you're watching these videos, how long are you getting? Are you getting a minute's worth of spray when you
good question.
when you pay? Like, what is the amount of time you're getting to? Is it like whenever you're putting air into your car tires and it's like, whoa, this one's been going on. This one actually gives me like 3 minutes. This is pretty cool. You know what I mean? Where you're like, I can get 2 tires out of this. Is it that sort of thing where you're like, holy shit, I can't believe it's still going. This is amazing. Or is it like you get 25 seconds?
Well, I mean, isn't that enough? How much?
Probably.
What do you want for a quarter? How?
I mean, the way that I'm thinking, because whenever you were describing the raft to me, I was that is kind of what I had in my head. And in my head, you're not necessarily. I think I was maybe a little bit wrong earlier. It's not a guarantee that you're going to get wet if you get in one of those, but there is always a chance that you're going to be in the part of the raft that gets splashed really heavy.
Yes.
Sometimes, yes, you're right. You do get out pretty much unscathed. But there's always the chance that you are one of the 1 or 2 that gets a big lip of water all over you whenever
And you generally
spinning.
don't want that, right? Like I know,
No, not at all.
I know I'm going on a water ride. I understand I'm consenting to water, but I just saw you take a sip of water, Tyler. You also consented to water on this
man,
podcast.
this isn't water, man. No way, man.
Oh, is it coffee? That's made with water.
No, but I think you're right, but I think that if you get on that ride and there is the chance that you could be getting wet just from the water that is already around you, then you have shown that you're open and okay with getting a little drenched for the rest of the day. I
don't know. No,
100%.
hold on. Okay, let's say this. You go to a concert, Tyler, right? You know the concert's going to be loud, correct?
Yes.
So you are consenting to, I know it's going to be louder than perhaps I would like. My ears might be ring-a-ding-dinging a little bit at the end.
Right.
But just because you know the concert's going to be loud, does that mean when you leave, it's okay for the bouncer to lean in and scream into your ear? Because that's what it is. You've gotten to the end of the ride. You're like, I'm all good. I could have gotten wet. And if I gotten a little bit wet, I would have been fine. But now I'm being targeted.
See, this is what I would say. I would say that the water cannons are a part of the ride. They're not separate from the ride. They are a feature of the ride.
100%. The ride is to get wet. That's the point of the ride. And what usually happens with these guys that get targeted is that they're the dad and they're on the ride reluctantly.
That's true.
And that is why it's so goddamn funny. It's like... There's signs, like you're waiting an hour for these things, and there's signs every post. You're going to get wet. You're going to get wet. The dad goes, well, the kids really want to go on. I got my phone on me. I got my wallet. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
Earpiece is in.
Exactly.
I'm
making deals
Dockers.
while this thing is
They don't dry
down.
well.
Exactly. And
you got to wear a dry wicking fabric there.
You got to.
You got to wear
if you're not wearing
wicks.
A Tilly hat on those rides, you're doing it.
No, I'll have to. Some Adidas Rain Ready stuff, and they spelled the Rain Ready really weird, so it's hip and cool. Like you gotta show up ready to play.
Yeah, exactly.
So JD, then you expect to get scared on a roller coaster.
Yes.
So when you get off, when you look at the little pictures of yourself screaming, we're going to replace your picture with you in a casket surrounded by your loved ones. Okay?
Okay.
Is that okay?
I mean, I don't get the comparison.
Well, because you're scared. They're both scary.
I get that they're scary.
Once you consent to being scared once, you could be scared as many times as you want.
The guy getting sprayed in the ride is still riding the ride. It may be at the end of the ride.
I think that your analogy would hold true, Matt, if JD and his family were being shown the pictures of him in his dead casket while they're still on the roller coaster,
right?
While they're going upside down and they're at their most fearful, like I'm about to die.
I'm fine with that.
And then you see a screen of JD in a casket surrounded by his loved ones. I think that is. But I feel strongly that the water cannons are a part of the ride itself. They're a feature of the raft ride, and so I can't separate the two. But I also know for sure that if one day I am one of these dads that has been able to stay dry on one of these rides, somehow I've been able to do it. And I think that part of the reason that you are so pissed is because the dad is so relieved, so happy, like, I can't believe it. Like,
I didn't get a drop on this
They
suede.
all got it. And sways. He shows up wearing suede.
It's Nubop.
And I think it's like it really is like I've made it to the top of the cliff and like I'm actually safe now. And then the villain at the very end, right before you're about to get all fours on the dirt, the villain grabs your heel and pulls you back down. And it's like, fuck, I thought I was safe.
Yeah.
Okay, JD, so then in one word, is this so good that you are willing to be the person sprayed in order for this tradition to continue?
100%. Yes.
100%. Okay.
Yes.
And Tyler?
I agree with that. I will gladly sacrifice myself so that people can continue this tradition. I think that I would also like to think that usually the people that are doing it to people that got on that they know. Like,
no, they're not. They're not. They're doing it to people that quote unquote deserve it. They're like Judge Dredd up on that bridge. Okay, they're judge, jury, and executioner. And I don't think that we should be allowing 12-year-olds this much power in our judicial system. So I'm saying not good. Do I want to walk around spraying people with a super soaker? Yeah, I do. But I know it's not right. I know it's not right.
It is right. Anyways.
I think you found a new TikTok tradition of some kind. You just walk around town with a super soaker and just spray people. People love that.
You go, are you a dad? Yeah, why? Right between the eyes. All right, well, we polled the people before the show, and 65% of them said spraying people with water cannons at theme parks is good. So everyone's on your side. People they like having fun. I don't, but that's just me. All right, Tyler, next topic. We briefly spoke about this a little while ago, but I didn't get to say anything, really. Okay. The question is malls. Are they good? All I really got to say are, JD asked me why I liked malls, and I said because of the stores. Now, I have a couple more things to say. Now, if that's why you like malls, if you want to take my answer, that's fine. My
answer for is this good is going to be a resounding yes, and I don't know that I'm going to get much more eloquent than the stores because of the stores. But I'm going to try. But you go, please.
Okay, well, back in what was it called? Fort what?
Fort Gibson.
Fort Gibson. Are the walls still standing? Just out of curiosity.
The mall, there was no. It was such a small town. There was no mall. We had to go to Muskogee to go to the mall, and that mall now is a very sad mall. It is a
dead mall, as they call it.
It's a very dead mall. Like half of it's been taken over by a radio station, Army recruitment offices, and that like part of the UPS like moved in to like park some of their trucks in there. It's like it's nice. Sad times. It's been, rest in peace to Twisted Joe's, a great pretzel place there, and
Wait, Twisted Joe's off-brand pretzel?
Off-brand pretzel, yeah. They were, they did. They no
Wetzel?
Auntie Anne's, no Wetzel, no Aunties. And don't get me wrong, always happy to see a Wetzel's or an Auntie Anne's, but no, Twisted Joe's, they were doing their own thing. It was always like.
This ain't your auntie's pretzel.
This ain't your
fucking
auntie's
Twisted
pretzel.
Joe.
No, man, these are the hot girls from Muskogee that are making them, man. These are real good pretzels, So that
Ours
was
are fucking figure eights. They're infinity pretzels. Okay,
I'm trying to imagine someone like really trying to blow somebody's mind. Like, so how pretzels are usually pretzel shaped? They just do bites.
Yeah, they're
Just really trying to blow somebody's mind. They're just squares.
They're just squares. Well, now you live in LA, so there's a lot of malls here. I mean,
Yes.
at least at one time, I would say California very famous for mall culture,
Sure.
Galleria culture, outdoor mall culture.
Yes.
So you've been around them. What do you think in the year 2024? How are you feeling about malls?
Still a massive fan. I would say that I go to the Glendale Galleria,
Oh, hell yeah. That's my mall, man. That's my mall. Fucking sick fist bump.
Dude, what a high quality mall. Really anything you need. Unbelievably solid food court. They got an Auntie Anne's there also, which is like, I'm hitting up the Auntie Anne's every single time. If they had a Twisted Joe's, I would go there. They do not. The franchise did not travel, unfortunately. I love a place that you can go and sort of be a little bit anonymous, but also you're not like hanging out there, but you can break up your time there enough to where you can walk around and just it's a place to go actually see people walking around, which there are fewer and fewer of those, I feel like now.
But that's one of my problems. I think you're seeing. First of all, that was a beautiful ode to capitalism, Tyler.
No, hey, that's what I'm about, man.
That's. People are really letting it hang out at the mall. I mean, they're hanging out, but they're also letting it hang. I just like.
Can you say more about what you mean by letting it hang out?
I can
please.
say. I will say. Like, people are crop dusting the Zara. People are bringing outside food, and ice cream cones are dripping onto hands. People are speaking at a volume that I don't like. There's too many scents and smell. Like, I mean, I don't even want to get into the middle kiosk. I think the middle kiosk single-handedly killed them all. I don't know.
I have a hard time with the little shops that are all throughout the middle too. That's hard.
You like shops? Well, there's shops where there's normally walking now.
Yes. Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that part.
But did those exist? I'm just gonna guess we're around the same age. Did those exist when we were children? I don't really remember it.
I don't remember there being so many. I remember like I'd get to the end of the mall and there would be 3. And there would be a guy flying a mini helicopter, and then someone selling off-brand sunglasses.
Yes.
And then someone else selling phone cases that they had bedazzled. Like, I remember that sort of vibe. Now, I'm with you that when you go to a mall, I think especially if it's a mall that is still kicking, they have decided the only way to keep it kicking is if we just like go overboard with everything that's available. So you're right. I mean, it's very much like almost 2 lanes of traffic now in a way that it used to just feel like a street that was closed that you could walk down.
Right, and the people at the Banana Republic, they're too far recessed into their store to yell at you when you're walking by. You know what I mean? The people in the middle, they're harassing you. Like people asking you if you want to, donate money to Greenpeace on the street corner. And then when you say no, they say, "Do you hate animals?" And then you say, "No, I don't hate animals." And I know you're getting paid. So if you like Greenpeace so much, why don't you volunteer?
I'll tell you one thing I would love is if on the way into the mall, much like at a bakery, I could take a little like green sticker and put it on my shirt, and that green sticker meant I have no interest in smelling any of the fragrances,
no infusers,
or perfumes or colognes.
It's got an incense stick with a red line through it.
I'm not interested in anything you want to try to hand me. I'm here. I'm on a mission. I know what I'm doing, and I'm not doing that. And I like if there was a way that you could sort of get ahead of that and be able to be like a Uber quiet ride sort of situation.
Oh, nice.
Where you can just be like, hey, this is one of the guys who said he's just here for him. He's not trying to interact today.
I don't understand what you guys are talking about.
Well, why you don't want to select the silent
but you're
mall
like
option?
you guys both walking around with big boners about the mall. You're like, malls are the best, but you're like shitting on the best thing about a mall, which is the stuff that's in a mall and shit that you can buy. Like people in those middle
Okay, controversial
corridors.
take, but go off.
Well, if they're trying to sell you shit, I want to smell the Cinnabon. I want people to try to sell me this sneaker cleaner or this remote controlled helicopter. Like, I want that shit. That's why you go to a mall. You're like, oh, the people. Yes, the people. That's why it's a market. It's a public market.
No, but see, I'm going because I know I need something. Like pants. We're always trying to buy pants.
Okay.
Right.
Tyler, you have the correct pants for this day and age?
No, I mean I do right now, but I want to tell you, Matt, I'm in complete agreement that pants are hugely important, and it's something to focus on.
So where in the mall? Close your eyes. Picture yourself in the Glendale Galleria. What
Honestly,
store are you
easy.
going into to get jeans?
To get jeans at the Glendale Galleria?
Yeah.
Boy, what am I doing?
You
Honestly,
hitting the Uniqlo?
I'm not going to Uniqlo because they're not made for the big boys. And Uniqlo,
Are you a big
I respect.
boy?
Yeah, I'm tall. I'm like 6'4".
Okay, give us your combine stats.
6'4", 240. You're looking at reps. We're getting that up no times. But it's Uniqlo is not for the double X's among us. Not for the size 38 waists in my experience. Maybe I'm shopping at the wrong Uniqlos.
Well, it's a chain.
Man.
I think they got the same thing at all of them.
Yeah, that's probably true. Man, where am I going?
Which is
where do you
interesting
go?
considering they're called Uniqlo, huh?
Yeah.
More like same low.
Seriously. Man, dude, people are going to be pissed at you, man. People love Uniqlo.
Yeah, that's true. I'm embarrassed. I don't know if did I admit this on the show already, JD? Where I went to buy my jeans?
Not your jeans, no. Well, you talked about trying on something at Uniqlo, which you didn't buy.
Oh, okay. But it is embarrassing because I did buy my new jeans at Abercrombie Fitch.
Oh, what's embarrassing about that?
What's embarrassing about that? Have you existed for the past 20 years?
I'll have you know I'm wearing an Abercrombie Fitch cardigan right now.
Whoa!
And it looks great.
It does look good. Mature.
Thank you very much.
I'm surprised you're wearing a shirt underneath it though, and not showing your six pack.
I know. Yeah, I am doused in their fragrance, whatever that is, though. Just FYI.
My wife helps out at her old high school with the girls' varsity basketball team, and so she's like, an assistant coach and stuff. And she says that apparently Abercrombie and Fitch, like it's like back.
Oh,
like
I knew it.
Like
I knew it was back.
Kids are wearing it. It's like cool and shit. And apparently, cool kids are driving Subarus now, which good for them,
Yeah.
Interesting. The lesbians are furious.
I know, right?
That was our thing.
Yeah, well, that's what I tried to tell all of the girls on our team that I was like, look, y'all can't be driving these, okay? These are for.
all the girls at small liberal arts colleges in the Northeast are like, we can't get them anymore.
They're Mitsubishi or they're Nissan Xteras, they're Montero Sports. They can't figure out what to do with them.
They can't get rid of them. Anyway, so I walked into the Abercrombie and I did say, Tyler, I'm not kidding you. I was alone, but I said in my head, something's different here.
Yeah.
Something's changed.
The mood had changed.
It's moodier in there. It's darker. There's no more like it used to be very like all American 6-pack.
A lot of like Labradors jumping into lakes with like shirtless dudes beside them. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's like their clothes are ripped and they're a little more distressed.
Oh.
And they fit loose.
Huh.
Fitting loose, it's like the long hair for being a teen, It's
and you bought the and you bought the jeans, so obviously it's a high quality jean in your opinion.
Well, I mean, anything over, I would say, $70 for a pair of jeans, I start to blink, you know? I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I will wear these every day for 6 years, so, you know. But, you know, to circle back to malls, the thing we're talking about.
Of course.
I thought I was too good for the mall. And then I needed to buy the jeans, and I went to the mall, and I said, you know what, Matt? You're not too good for this. And I realized when I go into a boutique, because that's what exists outside the mall. They're not stores, they're boutiques. If I go in and there's no shelving, you know what I mean? You go into a store and there's just racks, and the fewer things that are hanging on the racks, the more I'm like, this is not for me. I can't kid myself. I'm not a rack guy.
No, that really resonates with me, and I will tell you that if I walk into a store and it's just all on a bunch of hangers, and I can see that they've got like maybe if they've only got one of each option, then I'm devastated, because it means I'm going to have to be like, hey, I'm so sorry, do you have a double XL in this? Like, I can't, you know.
First of all, how dare you even ask? No, they don't.
Yeah. They look at me with such pity, and they're like, not in store, man. We can ship, but, you know, not, you know. And it's either.
Hey, can I interrupt you for a second? Please. Why are stores giving us the option when they don't have something to order it for us? And like, you know, I can order that for you. You can come back and pick it up. Like, no, because if that's the case, I'll just order it directly to my home.
That's what. Yeah. I anytime I'm offered, but we can get it shipped to the store, I'm sort of like, well, yeah, y'all should do that then. I wish y'all would have done that before.
I would have anticipated the needs of your customers.
That's right. How did all this other stuff get here?
You should get that pair, and then, because I saw a couple other guys outside, they were walking around, they were about my size. Maybe they would like this too. Maybe you get a couple other extra pairs just in case others. You know, not a ton of 6'4" guys walking around, but surely, you know.
I saw a couple kids playing that looked like they played junior varsity, lumbering around outside. You know, maybe they want something.
Hey, I don't know. You know, who am I to tell you how to do your job? But, no, I'm with you. Like, similarly, I don't like it when you walk into a place, and I'm not a big fan of like the minimalist aesthetic in a menswear store boutique. Mm-hmm. When like when everything feels like the clothes are almost on display. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, and you're trying it on. You're like, this might be the only one they manufactured. I can't.
Yes,
I don't want to.
I want to be able to, like, is there something on the front of the T-shirt? Yes. There's also stuff that's clearly still on the front of the T-shirt that I cannot yet see because this is folded. This is the only shirt of its kind that is here. It has been folded to within an inch of its life. It looks pristine. I'm not going to be able to refold it, so I know I'm creating some work. It's fueling all of that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes I will be like, I think I might like that shirt, but I don't like it enough to open it up here and and cause some extra work.
Right, exactly.
Because I can't fold like this. I like to think I'm a good folder, but you can't get some of those in-store folds. They're using those boards. You know what I mean? Like it's some you can't duplicate that yourself.
No. You got to bring your own. You got to BYOB, bring your own board. Now that I'm saying malls are back, we do have to move on. But I just want to say my one complaint, and this doesn't change my assertion that malls are good, is the change rooms, they need to be upgraded and elevated, specifically the lighting. Like, you're trying on the clothes to buy them. They're supposed to be incentivizing you to buy them. You go in there, it's like the weirdest lighting. It's like coming on half your body. The mirror makes you look fat. I mean, perhaps you are, but the mirror makes you look worse. And the curtain. Like, I'm surprised, like, the conservatives are going nuts about, like, which people are in which bathrooms. Why don't they get upset about the changing rooms? It's just a curtain.
Yeah.
When I went into 3 stores, I saw so much nudity, and I wasn't even trying to. I mean, No, I wasn't trying to. Let it be known that I was not trying to. Mm-hmm. But anyways, yeah, it's kind of a door. We'd appreciate a door. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, would love a door, and I would even I would love to add to that. I don't want some Dillard's door, some JCPenney door that's got like the kind of shades on the front of it, but that are just, you can sort of see in there, but they're slanted enough to where when you're looking right on, you can't actually see what's going on.
Oh, yes.
I still feel too exposed.
Yeah.
I would just give me a flat, give me a solid, opaque completely.
A door. I think you're referring to a door.
It's not happening, guys. It's not happening.
Or is it that they're afraid that some shit's going to be going on that they can't see?
It's the fucking. Tyler.
Yeah.
That's what they don't want happening.
No, it's not for the. It's probably for the shoplifting more.
Okay, but also the fucking.
Also the fucking. All right. Well, 70% of people say malls are good. Sorry, Tyler, you had a story about fucking in a change room? Please go ahead.
No, I was gonna tell it, but I've.
I was gonna tell it, but you ruined it, man.
That's me from a different time. I realize, so I just want to honor that person and leave him there. You know.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, you don't fuck in a change room in Fort Gibson, JD. Okay. Your name is Mud in Fort Gibson.
There might not have been a change room in Fort Gibson. I'm not sure we had stores that sold clothes.
Oh, interesting. You got the clothes. You go home, try them on, bring them back.
Wow.
If I was, I'm not sure how many clothes I've bought from a store that is in Fort Gibson proper. There's not a ton of. Now there's a little bit more, like downtown stuff, but at the time there wasn't a ton. It was just like it was like 4, 5, 6 restaurants. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, thank God they finally put that Uniqlo down in Fort Gibson. There's probably a lot of demand.
No, we love the Japanese, and thank you guys for.
They make a fine automobile, nothing compared to American craftsmanship, but we do support them and thank them.
How about those socks, though?
Oh, and they're tempura. They fry like no one else. We thought we fried good down here in America. Oh boy, do they fry! All right, Tyler, let's get to some unpopular opinions. And boy, I'm glad that I had this one because I didn't know this until you sort of slipped it in here. You'll see where I'm going.
Okay.
This is the unpopular opinion. Don't shit where you eat is easily the worst dating advice ever. I was going to ask you this question. Well, first of all, let me read you what the person wrote. Okay. This advice is terrible because it ignores reality. You are supposed to shit where you eat. That is how a great number of couples meet. Lots of couples meet at work, hobby places, gyms, etc. By not shitting where you eat, you eliminate not only most of your dating pool, but your best chance of finding a partner. It's either shitting where you eat or using dating apps and approaching random people, which both yield a lower success rate. Things can go sour and be awkward when they do, but hey, that's life, and you shat where you ate.
Yes.
Because you used to shit in your improv team.
Yes. Oh, so much horse.
I mean, you used to eat
man.
there, and then you decided to shit there.
Yes,
that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, thank you.
But were you worried when you made that switch from play partners to dating partners?
Yeah, for sure. Like, definitely more just excited than worried. But there is certainly definitely the thought went through my head, like she's older than me. She was like a little bit more established, like in the scene even. And so I do remember thinking like, oh, if this goes poorly, then there will be probably lots of older improvisers in the city that are like, that guy's an asshole. Like I do remember, you know what I mean? Like you do like think about, since I was newer to that world, I do remember thinking like
Horatio Sands might try to kill me.
Horatio Sands.
Hey, that reminds me, Tyler. That reminds me. You were doing Improv Chicago. Why aren't you on SNL? Did you not get that advice when you were in Improv that you could SNL's a great place for people to do sketch comedy?
Fuck! I should have thought of that.
I don't know,
dude. You know what's funny is, in the very first improv class that I was ever in, they asked you to go around and say like, hey, why are you in this improv class? Blah blah blah. And I remember one guy just said, "What's up, Jeff?" And, SNL, and that was his whole intro. That was his entire intro. Not very good. Not very good. Not
he's on. He's a writer, but he's on. He's on.
And that was Jeff Dunham, you guys.
Oh my God! And he said it through the puppet.
He said it through. He didn't. The terrorist wasn't a ghost yet. It was still alive.
Oh my God! Wow.
He used to be edgier, but he's like he lost it. I don't even remember where the hell I was.
I was shitting where you eat. Were you nervous?
Oh, yes, definitely nervous. Because you also don't know how it will change the way that other people that are eating there will react. And sometimes it's not even like the two people that are in the relationship that are doing any sort that are making it strange or hard or whatever. It's like the other people. It makes other people sometimes way stranger to deal with. And so I think that's an aspect of it too, and why sometimes people get very like, let's not have that here, or whatever. Like these weird companies.
Well, I think it at least calls for a group improv meeting. I think.
Yeah.
Whatever bar is next door to IO, you got to go there. You get some wings. You say, well, me and what I don't know her name. We have an announcement. I just don't want this to be weird, because I know that like part of our success is just being honest and open, because I think that's when we can make sort of the greatest mind connections. And we'll get this picture. This picture's on us.
And look, if you guys can still play her husband, it's totally cool. Like you can
touch her. You can touch her. And now, like,
you guys can be.
The good part is like, we can kiss now, like on the mouth.
So if I think that actually helps our show. So if we need that grounded reality. Oh shit! But no, I definitely remember it being a thing that I thought about and was like, because before then I hadn't like dated anybody that, like, when I was like coming up in classes or anything like that. Like I hadn't done anything with any like body in the scene. Kind of for that reason. It's just sort of because it does make it, simpler, and it can make that sort of stuff less stressful, right? But I mean, if it's the person, it's the person. So
well, JD, you literally shat where you ate, because you did it at a restaurant, so you do eat there, and you probably did shit there. But it worked out, because like Tyler, you got married to that person.
Yes, I did.
And or Tyler, I'm assuming you got married, but
yes, we got married. Yes.
If you're just in a domestic partnership, I just want you to know that we value and respect that here.
No, thank you. I appreciate that, and honestly, I will reveal to you now, we are not married. We are just we're just cohabitating. So.
Oh, okay, perfect. So, but JD, do you have a story about it going wrong? Because I have to imagine that you and Rachel wasn't the first time you dated someone at a place.
Oh no. Yeah, like every other one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And it was bad for me. It was bad for them. It was bad for everybody around us. So, and there were a number. So, yeah, I would say don't shit where you eat, but also, as the emailer says, what else are you going to do? I mean, especially in this day and age, I can't even imagine what it's like out there. So,
what did you ever have an experience where someone left because of you, or you were like, shit, I got to find a new job?
No, never me, but definitely people left.
Okay.
They never said it was about me, but
you knew.
I knew.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad that you tried. I mean, I've done it. See, the thing is, like, I've done it not successfully. Ultimately, I've done it, and I've ruined certain things. Broken some things apart. Some improv groups that could have really done something. But we didn't get the invite to SF Sketchfest. So what are you gonna do? You got to move on.
I will say that the job that I'm talking about, what didn't matter. It was one of those jobs that didn't matter to me or the person that I was with. It was just a shitty restaurant job in a shitty. It was just terrible. Nobody was there to make their career
in a mall.
In a mall. That's right.
Wow.
That's why I stopped myself. I was going to say shitty mall, but it's actually kind of a nice mall.
It's a nice mall.
Yeah,
it's a great mall.
Yeah.
I love a good restaurant. You give a good restaurant in a mall is very exciting for me, to be honest with you, especially if there's a movie theater in the mall, because it gives you that option,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hold on. Well, then let's get to subjective trivia. Because it does relate to restaurants in malls. Subjective trivia, Tyler, is just like regular trivia, except only I know the answer. I have my answer written right here, just so you know. Our goal is to try to get our answers to match, but today's question is, what is the best sweet treat that you might find in a mall? Okay, here are your options.
Okay.
Cinnabon, which already mentioned on the show. Wetzel's Pretzels, already mentioned on this show. Mrs. Fields, not mentioned on this show. Mm-hmm. Or a Jamba Juice. So again, your choices are Cinnabon, Wetzel's Pretzels, Mrs. Fields, or Jamba Juice. What's the best sweet treat you might find in a mall, Tyler? And you can obviously consult with JD if you'd like.
I mean, JD, what you know Matt better than me, so I don't want to come. I know where I would stand when confronted with these, and I want a sweet treat. I'm going for the cinnamon pretzel at Wetzel's. That's what I'm doing personally. Okay. But yes. I know that I'm not everyone, and so do you feel that's something I'm certain of?
I think you're onto something there. The Mrs. Field, he loves a cookie. I know that for sure.
He's a weird dude, man. He likes cookies.
Let's see. The Cinnabon is intriguing. Also, a cinnamon-flavored pretzel, or a treat, or whatever. Yes. But I feel like his lactose intolerance might shy him away from that. Is there lactose in those things?
In a pretzel?
No. In a Cinnabon.
In a Cinnabon, in the icing.
Yeah,
I doubt
frosting.
Oh yeah, because it's cream cheese. It's cream cheese frosting. So. I don't know, this seems a little big for Matt. Although he can take down, he has an unlimited capacity for sweets. I know that.
The thing I do wonder about with the Cinnabon is sometimes a little messy.
Yes.
Sometimes a little bit of a take-home treat. And absolutely. I wonder if Matt's looking for a take-home treat or if he's looking for something to nosh on while he's waiting to walk in to the next store.
Mm-hmm. So let's get rid of the juice because, come on. You're not going to waste that much sugar on a juice? No, thank you.
Okay. Yep.
What was the other thing?
Cinnabon, Wetzel's, and Mrs. Fields.
Mrs. Fields is the cookies. I don't know. I like the pretzel idea. I've never had this. Wetzel's Pretzels. Never had it.
Okay.
But you seem to be into it, Tyler. You think that's...
Well, I hesitate to declare that the answer... considering the fact this is the very first time I've ever spoken with Matt in my life, and so I don't really want to come in too hot, but I also think that this is where we are landing is on the Wetzel's pretzel.
You know what? I'm fine with it.
Yeah, you need to give an answer. Okay, well, it's interesting. You gave an interesting answer. Okay. I mean, good for you. You try. The answer is Cinnabon, but I don't understand. Cinnabon... all they make is cinnamon bonds.
Yes.
But now you're telling me to go to Wetzel's Pretzels for a cinnamon pretzel? When Wetzel's Pretzels also makes somehow a pizza that's on top of a pretzel?
They're little pepperonis. I honestly, the thing that I thought about was... you didn't strike me as a guy who was going to want to be trying to navigate all of the icing that's going to be on whatever you get from Cinnabon.
Okay, you're right, sure. But here's the thing: I wouldn't eat any of these, But if I did, it would be a Cinnabon because the smell attracts me to it like a cartoon character.
It's so good. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, floating
float over to it. Yeah.
And unlike like those hot nuts that they sell on the corner in New York, they smell so good, and you're like, fine, I'll get them.
Yes,
and then they're not that good.
Yeah.
But a Cinnabon smells amazing and is, as far as I'm concerned, it's the king of the food court. It's the king of the airport even.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because it's so smell heavy and the flavor delivers. Is it too much? Yes. Does it make you feel sick? Also yes. lactose intolerance or not, frankly.
Right.
But
I should have remembered
fuck,
that rarely stops
I don't
you.
like pretzels.
Pretzels can go fuck, Matt. I just disagree completely. But I this is your show, and I'm
You're
just
living in
gonna
the
move
past,
on.
man. You think kids are eating pretzels now?
Pretzels are not in the dude. First of all, it's our job as adults to teach children how to be, and so that's why every day when I pick up my daughters from school, I have a pretzel with me. No, I do love a pretzel, but I also like to. I'm on the move, you know.
Sure, I understand.
I got somewhere to go, Matt. You know what I mean? I gotta have something where
Got to beat traffic.
Yeah, you know, I got some shit I gotta navigate. You know, so I gotta have something that's quick and easy.
Something you can hold in that little translucent wax paper.
This one really threw me off, Matt. I have to say, because
Tough question. It's a tough question.
you said
we don't
sweet,
ask these two questions.
You said sweet treat, and then you include a pretzel in there. I was like, traditionally savory.
Yeah.
And so that's why I thought you had your mind on something from this pretzel place. But anyways, okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know. I think also pretzels, just the fact that we're calling what a Wetzel's pretzels is a pretzel, and then the dried hard pretzel
Sure.
that's also.
I agree with that. They should have come up with
bread is not
something-
crackers. That's what I'm saying. If I said, "Can you go to the store get me some bread?" and you come back with crackers, I'm gonna be upset.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. I just think that you that's something to take up with the whoever created the English language. Like that's we should have come up. They should have, whenever soft pretzels first hit the mix, because I guess were soft pretzels around before hard. Soft pretzels.
Yeah.
were
Have you
first?
ever heard of a
100%.
region of Germany called Bavaria?
Yeah, but that doesn't tell me that hard pretzels didn't exist before that. It just means that Bavaria made soft pretzels.
So in your world, it wasn't a start of a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It was a Honey, I Blew Up the Kids was before? That doesn't make any sense. It's not like Rick Moranis saw Tiny Pretzel and then was like, what if Giant Pretzel? He obviously saw Giant Pretzel and then was like, we could shrink this down and make it snacky sized.
Man, that is such a convoluted argument. I don't even know where to start stabbing.
Yeah.
But
it's tough. It's tough.
It's you know, I feel strongly that the soft pretzel is the better of the two. I will say that.
Yeah,
and I also think
obviously.
that they should have I think there should be different names. Like you shouldn't have to say hard pretzel and soft pretzel. There should be a pretzel and there should be a figure eight dough or something else. You know, I don't know what the fuck it is.
Maybe we use the German word. Unless the German word is pretzel and that's where it comes from. That would be bad.
It might
pretzel. I don't know.
It might be what's French for champagne. You might be running into that sort of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, but that is subjective trivia. Of course, if the question was, where is the best place in the mall to get a cookie cake with a minion on it, that would have been Mrs. Fields, but that was not the question. Tyler, where can people find you and where can people buy your book?
You can find me on The Ringer. My stuff goes up there generally, and if I write anything or if one of these other Parker Tiles things drops, you'll see it there. You can.
What are you doing with that, by the way? Are you just like going in to a studio, improving for like 45 minutes, and then just doing little clips of that?
The idea is that, and I should just play dumb here, but y'all are nice, and so I will tell you what's actually happening.
You could do it in the character. Is Parker Tiles here? Can Parker Tiles come out?
Is Forrest Gump with us, Tom? Is Forrest here? The idea is that they're like breakouts, they're video breakouts for a pod that doesn't exist.
Exactly.
And so
Don't worry, I got that.
No, I figured. And so we go in there and like we have an idea, we have ideas for bits and stuff, but it's not like scripted, right? You're just you go in and fuck around and try to find some fun stuff. But
so what you're saying is you go in with some ideas and then you just play.
I should have said play. As soon as you started, I was like, "Guy's gonna get it," and I should have beat him to it. But yeah, no, those will keep coming out. There will be no rhyme or reason to them, and I'm sure they will not be on any regular schedule of any kind. But yeah, no, you can buy the book kind of wherever. It's A Little Blood and Dancing. Came out in June of last year. Yeah, if you Google it, I always tell people to go if they have a local bookshop, please go there. Those are the best, and those are the places that actually need and deserve your money. If you are an Amazon person, go with God. It's there. You can also, there's also like, audiobook options and things like that. If you don't know a good bookstore near you that's not a chain, go to bookshop.org, and it's a website that kind of aggregates all the stock from local independent booksellers that are near you, and you can make sure and buy one from someplace in your area.
Perfect. And I'd love for you to come back on at some point, and I'm going to tell you this. Please. If you do come back on, I will have read your book before you come back on.
Dude, and honestly, don't even feel like you have to. I will 1,000% come back on. This was a blast. And
I mean, I'll wait for the paperback, but...
No, yeah. Dude, you might be waiting a while. You might be waiting until I mail you a bound manuscript in printer paper.
Do you have like a PDF I could print out?
Yeah, I'll get you a PDF. I'll get you a PDF. Yeah.
JD always buys me gift certificates to Kinko's for Christmas, so I got that burning a hole in my pocket.
I literally just ordered your book, Tyler.
Oh, thanks, Jay.
While he was on the show?
Just right now, I hit place order.
This is a superstar producer.
Not on Amazon, though.
I'm not going to say where I got it.
Oh, my fucking God. All right, well, we got to go. Check us out, patreon.com/isthisgood.
We'll
you could have at least gone to a mall, JD, to pick it up.
We're going to put a link to the bookshop.org to his book, and it'll be in the show notes.
Yeah. It's sometimes tiny bit more expensive, but you feel better. You pay that extra $1.29.
It is much better.
And you feel better.
I will say that the book is certainly far too expensive. Books are way too expensive. Whenever I saw it was $27.99, I was like, guys, come on! What is it for me?
What is this? A brick of gold?
I went in and added 2 more Hakeem Olajuwon references just to get the number up to 34 because it was his jersey number. This is not worth.
They should do dynamic pricing for books based on how the author is feeling that day. Like if you're a little down, you're like, honestly, I don't see why anyone would pay more than $1.99 for this. So
just give it away. Just give it away.
Just start putting it in IKEAs, okay? All right, let's move on with it. If you have topics, email us at isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. Remember to rate us on Apple Podcasts because that helps, and subscribe on YouTube. Thanks for listening. Thanks so much to Tyler for coming on. Go buy his book. Thanks in advance for leaving a 5-star review for everyone. I'm Matt Austin, and this was good. We'll see you next week.